places in there, but we had to go to the Trailway bus station.
Yeah.
And go through the back door and come up to a little window about like this.
Mm-hmm.
And order your food. And to even use the restroom.
Really? Just use the restroom?
You couldn't use the restroom in Harvey's or Kansas Homes. Or 5 and Dime. But in Jackson, Mississippi, you could.
And you would think the deeper south you went.
Yeah. I was from Jackson, Mississippi. And when I left home, we had a lunch counter, a black lunch counter, and a white lunch counter. White restroom and black restroom. White water, black water. You see, so therefore, colored water. Anyhow, we were able, we didn't have to go to a certain spot to get water to drink,
Yeah.
or to eat. We had a place.
Did you feel?
And I felt better about Mississippi because I thought that Nashville was not really coming up to par. I was in school at TSU. And
When was that?
1953, 54.
Mm-hmm. This about the same time the Brown decision hit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was that type of situation here in Nashville at that time. Then they started having the sit-ins. And I bought a home out in Cumberland Gardens. And you know where the refinery is out behind Tennessee State?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had to have National Guards protecting that because somebody was going to burn it or set it afire or do something.
Was that like 59, 60?
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to, in order for me to get home, I had to have identification. I lived right across the railroad track there in Cumberland Gardens, down behind TSU. But that was just the way it was. And they were trying to protect the people in the neighborhood.
What you mean?
The National Guard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was a little dangerous back in those days. I didn't participate in the sit-ins because I was not that type material.
What do you mean by that?
Because I would have probably been killed or shot or something.
Why would you have been killed?
Because if you spit on me,
Yeah.
then I'm going to retaliate.
Sure.
You know,
so that whole like
yes,
that non-violent disobedience was too much.
Yeah, it was too much for me. I remember in Jackson, Mississippi, I worked at the soda bar in the drugstore, and one of the little boys down there, the white boy, said to me one day when all of his brothers were on the counter,
Mm-hmm.
Robert, get me a 5-gallon can of vanilla ice cream. So I turned and looked at him and I said, get it yourself. So he said, came out from behind the counter with this big bottle of Canada Dry water.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned on him and pointed my finger. I said, I'll break your neck. So he said, let's go out back.
Ooh.
So we was headed out back. So Helene Rubenstein, lady, she went and got Dr. Noble and Dr. Brent. And we met us at the back door. And they told him, they called me Junior at the time. Junior does not work for you. He works for us. You don't have anything to do with him.
Yeah.
You know, so that type of thing. And then I had that case where this lady came in the bathroom.
But what did that matter? Like, why were they saying that? that he doesn't work for
because
you.
They didn't want him trying to tell me what to do.
Was that unusual for like a white business owner to say that to somebody? Like, did was that unusual?
Well, it was good on Dr. Nobles and Dr. Brent's part to let him know and set him straight.
Right.
That you don't tell him what to do.
So was Mississippi like more progressive, would you say?
I would say in some such certain thing, because the mayor came over to the drugstore and he told me, he said, "They tell me that you fixed to go to Tennessee to go to college." I said, "Yes, I am." So he said, "Well, you don't have to do that." See, we got all these colleges right here: Jackson State, Alcorn, Mississippi Valley, so on and so on. But he never said Ole Miss
right.
in Mississippi State, you see. And so he said, "If you stay and finish here, I'll make you the first black policeman." I said, "I don't want to be a policeman." So I probably wouldn't have made it, back in those days. Because I was not going to take that. And so when they did this, when I came to Nashville, that's when they had the sit-ins downtown Nashville. Martin Luther King and all this guy in the 5 and dime stores and all of that. And it just was something I couldn't do. But I wasn't going to allow anybody to kick me and spit on me and do all those things.
But what did you think about the students who were doing that, who putting themselves through that?
I thought it was awfully brave of them.
Yeah?
Yes, I did. I really did. I thought it was really nice. Kids from Fisk University, from TSU.
Mm-hmm.
And,
they were at your school, weren't they?
Some high school kids.
Yep.
Yeah, they're from TSU. Some of them are from TSU.
Like Diane Nash was there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I was still not the type of material.
Do you remember when Diane Nash confronted Ben West, the mayor, and asked him if he thought it was fair to allow black people to buy clothes and stuff, but not to not to let them sit there, and what he said?
I remember something about that back in those days. But she was an aggressive person. Yeah, she was very aggressive. But Martin Luther King and his group of people went through a lot of nonviolent stuff. They took it. They were put in jail. They were treated awful.
And you watched the whole thing play out over all those years.
Yes. Yes, I did. And but I was not alone. There were others that just couldn't endure. They couldn't take that stuff.
Sure.
Like the Black Panthers. They were people that would not have taken all that like Martin Luther King did. He was a strong man.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and there was one incident, I don't know if I told you about this or not. The same boy that said he wanted to fight me, he beat in front of his peers. He had planned to do me in. He got one of his buddies and 2 white girls to meet me at the bus stop
Mm-hmm.
And Billy Greenleaf was his name. He said, "Robert, these girls are crazy about you. We're going to get out down here at Millsap College.
These girls are crazy about you, and they're going to get off at this
Yeah,
spot.
get up at Millsap College.
Millsap College.
And Millsap College had a big river right behind it.
Mm.
And that's where I would have ended up.
Why do you say that?
Because Walter had set it up. Billy Greenleaf was Walter's buddy. And
What
he got up
happened?
and came back to the black side of the bus. And
So you'd gotten on the bus together, like after
yeah,
work?
and they were already on the bus.
Okay, the ladies were.
The ladies and Billy Greenleaf.
Oh, they were already on that bus. They
On
knew
that-
what bus
on
you were
that
going to get
bus,
on. They were
yeah.
already on your bus. So when you got off work,
And they were on that bus.
and they'd already set you up, they were like, "Come, when we get off, you get off."
Billy Greenleaf got up and came back to where I was sitting
Mm.
in the back of the bus and said, "You gonna get off the bus? We're getting off down here at Millsap College."
Has any white man ever come back there before that to talk to you?
No. And so I knew what was up. Well, I figured what was up.
What was up, do you think?
So I figured that if I hadn't gotten off that bus, I would not be here today. That's what I figured. Because I was going to, Walter and his group were waiting for me. And they were going to do me in. But you know, God is good.
Yep.
And so he gave me sense enough to not get off that bus. And I told Billy, I said, "Man, I'm not getting off this bus." So the bus driver was looking through the rearview mirror,
Mm.
you know, to see what he went back there for. So they got off the bus, and I went on downtown, caught my bus, and went home.
Thank God.
Yeah, and so, and then the other case was this Helene Rubenstein lady.
Mm-hmm.
I came in one day from school, and she came while I was in the restroom, washing up and getting ready to go out front.
Mm-hmm.
And put my little apron on and all that. And she came in and closed the door behind her and stood there with the knob behind her. Scared
Who
me.
was this?
Huh?
Who was she?
She was the Helene Rubenstein lady. That was, the lady that worked in beautifying other ladies.
Oh, so she'd come into your shop?
She came into the restroom.
Oh, so she was in the shop that she worked there too.
Yeah, she worked
In the
there
beauty
also.
section, you were in the lunch counter section
Yeah.
making ice cream, sodas and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so she came in there and just closed the door and stood there and looked at me.
Mm.
And I said, "Excuse me, please," but I was afraid.
Sure.
And so
What were you afraid of, though?
if anybody come back there, she could have said that I came in on her.
Mm.
Because that's what happened back in those days. You know, they lied on the black man. And I got out of there, and I was very lucky, and God had blessed me again. And the other occasion was this lady that went to one of the business colleges there.
Mm-hmm.
And Doc Nova saw this. It was ice cream counter here,
Mm.
ice cream box, and she was right here making a sandwich. So I can't, but I could come through here without touching her.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got directly behind her, she booted her butt back on me.
Ooh.
And I jumped up on the counter. And Doc saw that. So he called me and told her, she told me, he told her, you leave Bob alone.
Nice.
Yeah, and so, that was just another.
You must have been lucky to have someone, I don't know, to have a boss like that.
Yeah, he was good. He was a good person. Brent was good. Dr. S.P. Nova was good. Even when I finished high school and came to Tennessee State, he said, Bob, if you need anything, you write me. And I never had to write it, but I knew that, he was always there.
Yeah.
And
what would you have had to write him for, do you think? Like what?
Money.
Oh.
But I believe Doc was, he had a black family.
Oh, did he have a black family?
I think he did down in Yucatan.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you think that?
Because every Christmas I had to go and load his trunk up with toys.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me a list. He said, Bob, I want you to go and get all these toys and put them in the trunk of my car.
Mm.
And that's what I did. And so I just felt like he had somebody down there.
Why the Yucatan? That's where the toys would go to?
Because that's where he went fishing.
That's where...
Yeah, he went fishing down there. He would spend weeks at a time down in Yucatan.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I remember all that. But Doc was a good person.
Yeah.
He looked out for me. And then he told Mama, see, if you need anything, call my Mama Mary. Just call me.
Mm-hmm.
And so my Mama, she never did bother him, but she knew that I was safe. That's what she was concerned about.
Good.
Yeah. So all these things transpired in my lifetime, with me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had not been careful, I would not be here.
If you had not been what?
If I had not been careful.
Careful.
And thoughtful, and with my thinking cap on.
What do you think of the fact? Like, do you think that we, as people of color, have to be that careful still today?
In places, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In certain places, you have to be very careful about what you do. And I think that so much is going on now with drugs.
Yeah.
And all of that. So sometimes it's hard to know what is going on, because drugs is just taking over.
Yeah.
And then you got these people that are just looking for green, and they're doing all kinds of drugs in order to get people hooked.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that when integration came about back in